Друзья, hello everyone. Today we are looking not at a remote tribe or an exotic tradition, but at the vast silent expanse of space. Specifically, we are focusing our attention on our own star, the Sun. It was here, in the archival data from solar observatories like NASA's Solar and Heliospheric Observatory, or SOHO, that something truly extraordinary was captured. An object of colossal proportions appeared seemingly out of nowhere, positioned perilously close to the Sun's fiery corona. This wasn't a small speck or a digital glitch. It was a defined, massive structure that immediately caught the attention of both amateur astronomers and professional researchers who tirelessly monitor our star for any signs of unusual activity. Its presence was a stark, undeniable fact recorded by multiple instruments. The sheer scale of this object is what truly boggles the mind. Based on careful analysis of the images and its proximity to the Sun, scientists calculated its size to be staggering. The object was estimated to be roughly 10 times the diameter of our own planet, Earth. Imagine lining up 10 Earths side by side. That was the approximate length of this mysterious visitor. Its scale is almost impossible to comprehend in human terms. We are talking about a body so immense that it dwarfs anything in our solar system besides the Sun and the gas giants. This fact alone elevated the sighting from a mere curiosity to a significant astronomical event demanding serious investigation and explanation. The shape of the object was another point of intense debate and fascination. It was not a typical sphere or an irregular chunk of rock like an asteroid. Instead, the images revealed a more complex, almost structured form. Many observers described it as elongated, with what appeared to be wing-like or fin-like appendages extending from a central body. This specific silhouette was not random. It bore an uncanny resemblance to something very specific from our distant past. This wasn't just a blob, it was a defined shape that seemed almost designed. The clarity of the form in the archival footage ruled out simple explanations like camera artifacts for many who viewed the evidence. This is where the story takes a turn from modern astronomy to ancient history. Enthusiasts of paleocontact theories were quick to point out an incredible similarity. The shape of the solar object was strikingly reminiscent of the celestial ships or divine chariots depicted in ancient Sumerian mythology. The Sumerians, one of the earliest known civilizations, left behind clay tablets describing their gods, the Anunnaki, who traveled the cosmos in great vessels. These depictions often show winged discs or elongated craft. The parallel was too direct to ignore, suggesting for some that what Soho captured was not a natural phenomenon, but a vessel of a design thousands of years old. This connection added a layer of profound mystery to the already baffling event. As this gigantic object lingered near the Sun, our planet and the space around it began to experience a series of unusual phenomena. It was as if the visitor's very presence was disrupting the delicate balance of our solar system. One of the most significant recorded effects was a dramatic spike in solar activity. Instruments on Earth and in orbit detected powerful magnetic fluctuations originating from the Sun, far more intense than typical solar cycles would suggest. These were not just minor ripples, they were significant magnetic storms that had the potential to interfere with our technology and communication systems, creating a tangible link between the celestial anomaly and our daily lives here on Earth. Simultaneously, the Sun itself seemed to react violently. Solar observatories captured images of massive coronal mass ejections erupting from the Sun's surface in the direct vicinity of the object. These are enormous explosions of plasma and magnetic fields, releasing billions of tons of solar material into space at incredible speeds. While coronal mass ejections are a known solar phenomenon, the timing and location of these specific eruptions were highly coincidental. They appeared to be directly correlated with the object's position, leading some researchers to hypothesize that the object was either triggering these events or perhaps even feeding on the ejected solar plasma, drawing energy directly from our star in a display of unimaginable technology. The strange effects were not limited to the space around the Sun. Back on Earth, monitoring stations that track the planet's own electromagnetic field registered noticeable changes. Specifically, there were unusual fluctuations in the Schumann resonances. These are a set of global electromagnetic frequencies, essentially the Earth's heartbeat, generated and excited by lightning discharges in the cavity between the surface and the ionosphere. For these resonances to shift, a significant global-scale event must occur. The fact that these changes coincided with the appearance of the solar object and the subsequent magnetic storms suggested that its influence extended across 93 million miles of space to directly affect our planet's fundamental frequency. This confluence of events painted a picture that was difficult for mainstream science to dismiss as mere coincidence. You had a massive, structured object of unknown origin appearing near the Sun. You had unprecedented magnetic spikes and plasma ejections from the Sun in that exact location. And you had a measurable, physical effect on Earth's own electromagnetic field, all happening in the same window of time. Each fact, taken alone, might be explainable, but together they formed a chain of evidence that pointed towards a single, extraordinary cause. It was a perfect storm of data that left the scientific community with more questions than answers, challenging our understanding of physics and the cosmos itself. Just as mysteriously as it had arrived, the colossal object vanished. For several days, it had been a constant, albeit silent feature in the SOHO data streams, a mountain-sized enigma parked in the Sun's backyard. Astronomers and sky watchers around the world were glued to their screens, anticipating its next move. Would it change its position? Would it reveal more of its structure? But instead of providing more data, it simply disappeared. In one data frame, it was there, a clear and defined shape against the solar corona. In the very next, it was gone. There was no trail, no explosion, no gradual fading or breaking apart. It simply ceased to be visible to the observatory's instruments. This sudden departure was, in many ways, more baffling than its arrival. If it were a natural object, like a comet or a collection of debris, one would expect it to either continue on a predictable trajectory or be visibly consumed and destroyed by the Sun's immense gravity and heat. Its disappearance defied the laws of celestial mechanics as we know them. It didn't move out of frame, it blinked out of existence. This act of vanishing added significant weight to the theory that the object was not a passive celestial body, but something under intelligent control, capable of movements and actions that are beyond our current scientific comprehension, such as cloaking or engaging a faster-than-light drive. The reaction from the global scientific community was one of cautious and divided puzzlement. Officially, major space agencies like NASA and the ESA remained largely silent or offered mundane preliminary explanations that failed to satisfy the public's curiosity. They needed more time to analyze the data, they said. Behind the scenes, however, the event sparked intense debate. Emails and discussions leaked from astronomical circles revealed a deep split. Some scientists were adamant that a logical, natural explanation must exist, even if it wasn't immediately apparent. Others were more open to the possibility that we had witnessed something truly revolutionary, something that could not be explained by our current models of the universe. This lack of a unified answer created a vacuum that was quickly filled with speculation. The official silence was interpreted by many as a cover-up, a deliberate attempt to hide a truth too shocking for the public to handle. Scientists who did speak out often gave conflicting opinions, highlighting the genuine confusion the event had caused. No one could provide a definitive, evidence-backed conclusion. The object had presented itself, demonstrated its immense scale, coincided with massive energy events, and then left without a trace. It left the brightest minds on our planet with a set of inexplicable data points and a profound sense of uncertainty about our place in the cosmos. In the aftermath of the event, two primary and competing theories emerged to explain the solar anomaly. The first, and more conservative, hypothesis proposed that the object was a natural phenomenon. This camp suggested it could have been a sun-grazing comet of an unusual composition, or perhaps a massive clump of solar plasma and filaments held together by complex magnetic fields, creating the illusion of a solid object. Proponents of this view argue that the Sun's environment is incredibly complex and that we are still discovering new types of solar phenomena. The object's strange shape could be an illusion caused by foreshortening and the interaction of magnetic forces, and its disappearance could be explained by it simply dissipating or being reabsorbed by the Sun. The second, and far more provocative theory, is that the object was artificial, a product of technology. This is the technogenic hypothesis. Supporters of this idea point to the evidence that seems to defy natural explanation, the structured, almost mechanical shape reminiscent of Sumerian craft, the apparent correlation with solar flares, suggesting an energy-harvesting function, and most importantly, its sudden, non-ballistic disappearance. These characteristics, they argue, are hallmarks of a controlled, technological object, likely a probe or vessel from an advanced extraterrestrial civilization. For this group, the object was not an illusion, but a tangible piece of machinery, a spaceship on a scale we can barely imagine. Crucially, this entire debate is not based on hearsay or blurry photographs. There is a substantial body of evidence that anyone can investigate. The events were recorded by official scientific instruments, primarily NASA's SOHO and stereo solar observatories. This means high-resolution archival photos and videos of the object exist and are available in the public domain. Anyone with an internet connection can access the SOHO archives and see the raw data for themselves. This is not a story from a single anonymous source. It is a documented event captured by multi-million-dollar scientific equipment, which makes dismissing it outright very difficult. The evidence is there, waiting for a definitive explanation. Ultimately, as of today, October 21st, 2025, the mystery of the giant object near the Sun remains unsolved. Neither theory has been definitively proven or disproven. The scientific community remains without a consensus, and the official explanations are unsatisfying for many who have seen the compelling visual evidence. Was it a gigantic, oddly shaped comet that behaved unlike any other comet ever observed? Or was it a brief glimpse of an advanced technology, a visitor from the stars refueling at our Sun? The photos and videos confirm that something was there. But what it was, where it came from, and where it went are questions that continue to challenge our understanding of the universe.